A major California gun law story changed this week. According to the Federal Judicial Center, Judge Roger T. Benitez's federal judicial service ended on April 2nd, 2026 because of retirement. That means one of the judges most closely tied to California's modern Second Amendment litigation is now off the bench, and that is a real development even without a fresh opinion attached to it. The same Federal Judicial Center record says he joined the Southern District of California in 2004 and took senior status at the end of 2017, so this closes a long stretch on the federal bench. The reason this is getting so much attention is pretty easy to understand. His courtroom was connected to some of the most watched gun cases in the country, including Duncan versus Bonta, Rode versus Bonta, and Miller v. Bonta. If you've been following Thomas updates, you already know the deeper backstory on Duncan and Rode, so I'm not going to spend this video redoing those full timelines when we've already covered them step by step. What changed here is the judge, not the legal posture of every case people associate with his name. His retirement does not suddenly rewrite California law. It does not erase the rulings he already issued. It does not hand either side an automatic win. The cases that are already up on appeal keep moving through the courts based on the records, briefing, and orders already in place, and whatever court has the case now is still the court that controls the next move. That is where a lot of people get tripped up, because a headline like this can sound bigger than it is. It is significant, but it is not a merits ruling. Publicly available court records show Duncan remains in the Supreme Court pipeline under its current petition posture, and Rode already went before the Ninth Circuit en banc panel in March. So if you were expecting this retirement by itself to flip the board overnight, that is not what happened. There is also another public marker here that makes this feel much more settled than internet rumor. ADR Services announced on April 6 that Benitez had joined the firm after retiring. So this is not just chatter bouncing around social media. There is an official retirement date on the Federal Judicial Center page, and there is already a post-bench move being publicly announced. And if you track these cases closely, subscribe to Thomas Updates, because sometimes the biggest shift is not a new opinion at all. Sometimes it is a change in who will be around if one of these fights gets sent back down the road. The next part is where the analysis starts, and it needs to stay careful. If a case stays in the appellate courts or at the Supreme Court, those courts will decide it without Judge Benitez having any further role. If a matter later comes back to the district court for more proceedings, another judge could end up handling that chapter. That does not tell us which side wins. It only tells us the district court voice people had gotten used to in these California cases may no longer be the one shaping the record going forward. So yes, this does close out a chapter in California litigation history. His name became closely linked with several major firearm cases, and those opinions became part of the national conversation, whether people agreed with them or not. But the cleaner way to read this is as a personnel change with possible downstream consequences, not as a legal result by itself. Since these stories move quickly, I'm basing this on public court records and other publicly available reporting as of today, and this is analysis of where things stand, not any kind of official legal authority. If your own situation is on the line, talk to a qualified attorney who can give advice based on your specific facts. For now, the takeaway is pretty straightforward. Roger T. Benitez is officially retired. The cases tied to his courtroom are still moving through the system, and the real impact of this change will depend on what happens in those cases next. If you want that next update when it lands, subscribe to Thomas Updates, and I'll keep following it.